My first time getting my hair done since getting a big chop, and I'm so excited. And I honestly cannot believe that this happened to me. Guess I'm in a feud with a braiding salon, and this is crazy.
Hey girls, today I want to talk about a personal experience that I had at a braiding salon right here in Houston, Texas.
My name is Jalia and I'm the owner of the salon. This inquiry that you're seeing.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Cynthia here, and guys, in today's video we're going to be looking at something that happened over the week. This is between a hair salon owner and a content creator, or should we say an influencer, because the influencer was paid to do a promotional ad for this salon on her page. Now things did not go as planned, and they all came out on their TikToks to talk about how exactly it went. Now guys, without wasting too much time, let's get right into this video.
My first time getting my hair done since getting a big chop, and I'm so excited. I'm back home, and I honestly cannot believe that this happened to me. So the owner of the salon reached out to me last year, the end of last year, but I was still locked, so I couldn't get them to do my hair. So after I cut my hair, and I feel like it was finally long enough for me to get it done. So I reached out to her and I was like, hey, are you still interested in collabing? She said yes. She came in today, Thursday. I brought my own hair. I brought the QVR Afro Kinky Bulk hair, and I showed the girl at the front my inspo pic. Once I showed her the inspo pic, she was like, okay. She had me fill out their influencer agreement, and she matched me with a stylist. So when I sat down in her chair, she kind of looked at me, and I think she said it to the other lady. I don't know if she said it in English. I can't remember. But somehow I was like getting the impression that she felt like my hair was too short. So I was like, oh, is it too short? And she was like, no, we just have to blow dry it. So I said, okay. And she started to pick it out. The other lady came over with a blow dryer, even though she blew dry my hair dry. That's not what we're talking about. She did these. She was like, well, how's the sizing? And so when I looked at the sizing, one, they're bigger than the inspo pic, and two, this knot. I wasn't a fan of the knot. And so I asked, does it have to start with a knot? And she was like, I can't do knotless. Your hair is too short. I can't do knotless. And I said, oh, okay. Then the other lady in the back was like, oh, well, you could do knotless. It's just going to be more expensive. So I'm doing an influencer collaboration, so I don't really care how much it costs. I'm already just only doing this a hairstyle in exchange for a video, which is very, 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 very much lower than how much I charge for a video. The lady is saying she can't do it without a knot. The other lady says she can do it knotless. So the other lady comes up here, and I guess this is the knotless one. And so at this point, I'm asking them like, okay, do y'all feel like my hair is too short? And they're like, no, it's not too short. And the other lady just kept saying, I can't do it knotless. I can't do it knotless. And so at that point, my anxiety is already through the roof, because you know how like you're trying to explain to someone what you want and you're feeling like a little hesitation, a little kickback. I'm feeling anxious. So I called my sister, who is a cosmetologist, and asked her for her opinion. And I asked her, if they do my whole head with this knot, is it gonna look crazy? And my sister was like, no, it won't look crazy, but it won't look natural how you want it to look. And then she called out that these are way bigger than I wanted them. So at that point, the lady was like, well, we can do it knotless. It's going to be more expensive. And I'm thinking they're going to go talk to the people and let them know, like, it doesn't matter the cost or whatever. So they said they're going to come back. And then a man who was at the front, he said he was the manager. He came over, and, oh, I forgot to say, when I came in, the owner came over. She was a very sweet lady. She introduced herself, and she asked me to do a transition TikTok with her. So she filmed the beginnings of a TikTok like mine before, and then she went away. So she said she was going to come back at the end. So at this point, the manager man comes over, and he's like, hey, I'm the manager. I just want to see, like, what's the problem? And I'm taken aback because I didn't know we had a problem. So I was like, oh, there's no problem. I'm just trying to see if they can do it without the knot, and if they can do it smaller. And so he's like, oh, okay. And he walks away. So I'm sitting there for a couple minutes and nobody, the stylist walked away, he walked away. So I'm just kind of sitting there. So then the young lady who signed me in, she came over and she was like, hi, they want me to come tell you that we're no longer interested in proceeding with the collaboration because we can't ensure that it'll turn out correctly. And so I was like, oh, okay, is there another style that I should do or what? And she repeated, we're no longer interested in proceeding with the collaboration. And I didn't realize she was saying like, okay, wrap this up. And so I was like, so you want me to leave? And she was like, we're no longer interested in proceeding with the collaboration. And I am sitting there with my mouth wide open, like, this cannot be happening to me. And so I was like, okay. And then she walked away. And I sat there for a minute thinking the owner was going to come over, apologize, or somebody was going to talk to somebody. But no, nobody ever came back over. So I'm like, I literally have 13 twists in my head. My hair that I brought was still out. No one packaged it up. No one offered to take the twist out my hair. The owner didn't come over to apologize. They didn't offer to, do a different style. I am flabbergasted. Like, I cannot believe that this happened to me. So I packed my stuff up and I left. I just cannot believe that happened. I feel like there are so many different points where it could have went differently. One, if when the stylist came over, she felt like my hair was too short, she could have said, I can't do this. It's too short. And we could have talked about a different option. Or they could have got someone who's more familiar and experienced with working with short hair. Or when I first got there and I showed my inspo picture, they could have made sure they matched me with someone who could do my inspo picture. I didn't have on a hat. When I came there, I had this hair. So why agree to it? And then once y'all figure out that y'all can't do the style, which honestly, even how they look, forgetting the size and everything like that, I just feel like they couldn't achieve the style that I wanted. If that was the case, you could have said, hey, we don't specialize in that. What about this? And then once they decided they couldn't make sure the style came out the best way, the owner 100% should have came back over to me, apologized, and said, we can't make that happen. And we could have figured something else out. Even if they didn't want to move forward with the collaboration, to leave me there with 13 twists in my head and have me pack up my own hair, like, that is horrible. That is a horrible experience, especially when you asked me to do a review of your salon. And it makes me uncomfortable to make this video because I don't want to slander or bash anyone. But this is an honest review of what happened. What if I wasn't an influencer? What if I was somebody who the weekend of Mother's Day needed their hair done at the last minute and they just kicked me out? Like, this is a real experience. So, yeah.
Honestly, guys, this went south real quick. Like, it went from 100 to 0, like, instantly. What? They shouldn't have even gotten to that point where this lady would leave. It's a simple thing. She gave them options, like, is this inspo pick not going to be possible? If not, what can we do that'll be possible? What could she have possibly done or say that will make them just halt abruptly, leaving her with twists in her hair, no proper communication to her, nothing? I don't know, guys. It just doesn't sit well, There was no need for that, if you ask me, except there's something we do not know. But other than that, there wasn't need for them to neglect her the way they did and still call off the collaboration. There were other things to do. There were other options. If really they wanted to collab with her, there were other options of hairstyle she would have done. Anyway, guys, people were in the owner's comment section asking her about this incident, in her TikTok page. So she came out and did a response video. Okay, now let's get right into that.
My name is Jalia and I'm the owner of the salon. this inquiry that you're seeing about a client that came in for us to braid her hair using QVR hair, but her hair was short. So we told her, you cannot get knotless, you can get box. We started off the service. She was okay with the box, and then she gets to call the sister, who is a licensed cosmetologist. Now that's where the entire twist started. The person that was on phone being disrespectful to my stylist. If you know me as the woman that will protect the client and also a stylist. If the stylists are wrong, I acknowledge it. But let me tell you, we have all the receipts, and if you need them, I'll bring them. The person started video calling, being on phone like this, with the person claiming to be, oh, I know hair, then started being disrespectful, commanding our stylist. You don't know how to braid. Are you even qualified? Do you know that? When it gets to that moment, we stop. Service. That's how we couldn't continue with her hair. But since most of the time, the only thing, so many people, especially that have a following, okay, I have a following, I'm going to post you on TikTok. Post, because there is always two sides of the story. We open our salon here, we sit over 200 customers. We open the salon to service you. We do not open. We don't want you to go back home without your hair done. So if you come here and you start being disrespectful to our stylist, we're going to send you off. And learn it from me. We're going to say bye-bye. Okay? So that's what happened. We couldn't braid over, so we had to do box. And then after, from the box, you said, can you make it a knotless? But all these commands were coming from someone that was on phone being disrespectful. It collided. We say bye-bye. My name is Jalia Walder, and we can't wait to service you. Come get your braids done. Over here, we are strict and disciplined. Thank you.
Indeed, there are two sides of the story. So the owner is saying that the sister, which is a licensed cosmetologist, was sounding rude to her stylist, and so because of that, they had to halt the whole collaboration. I was saying what really happened, because the way the other lady narrated the whole thing, I was looking for that thing that will make them to say we are no longer making your hair, because from everything she said, I didn't see any reason why they would stop making her hair or even stop the collaboration. Now this owner is coming to say that she did not appreciate the way the sister spoke to the stylists, and is saying they're all about discipline here and they're strict and they protect the clients as well as they protect the stylists. Anyway, guys, let me know what y'all think about this. Is it sounding okay? But yes, let's get right into the video, because this influencer came out to do a response to that. Okay,
Guess I'm in a feud with a braiding salon, and this is crazy. Everything about this entire situation is insane, but I'm going to answer all the comments and questions y'all had and respond to the lies that she posted in her latest video. Watch the old video to catch up on why we're here, but I just want to respond to the comments. Before I even get to the comments, the lady just made a video, I think she made it today or yesterday, saying that my sister was being rude and that's why they didn't want to continue. That is a lie. That is just a plain out lie. In the video, she said that my sister told them they didn't know how to braid. That also was a lie. Like, I just can't even believe a business owner would create lies like this. And this type of going back and forth is not even my MO, so I'm not going to continue after this. I just want to tell the honest truth of what happened. My issue is not that they couldn't do it. If they couldn't do it, I would be okay with that. My issue was the customer service and the approach about how they went about it. I feel like the owner should have came out and said they can't do the style. I'm sorry, we can't do the collaboration. They should have offered to take the twist out my head, and not just left me there sitting there feeling weird and wondering what the heck is going on. This was the inspo pic. This is the front of my hair. This is what the back of my hair was looking like. So I said I didn't like the knot. Somebody said I was acting oblivious and they said they couldn't do it. I was not acting oblivious. The two ladies in my head were conflicting with one another. The lady in the front said she couldn't do the knotless because my hair was too short. The lady in the back said, no, it's possible to do the knotless. It would just cost more. And so they were going to the back, supposedly, I thought, to talk about the price. So the lady in the back who said it was possible, she came and did the 2 knotless in the front. And I said, that's fine. Let's just make them smaller. Some of the other comments were like, I should sue them. Y'all, I'm not suing the people. It's not that serious. But I do want to say I am a content creator. I have been creating content for a couple years now. And I 100% believe it is not okay for content creators to only show positive experiences, especially when it's a sponsorship or a collab. It is very important to me to be honest because I am influencing people to go to businesses and spend their money. So I'm not only going to show the good. I'm going to be honest about my bad experiences because I don't want people to go spend their money somewhere and not have a good experience. There are plenty of other ways that Miss Jalia could have handled this. I personally am very disappointed because she seemed like a nice lady and I was excited. Y'all saw the video. I was excited to collab, but unfortunately this is not a business I would recommend.
Okay, wow, that last part was quite a wow. Okay, now the client is saying that was a lie. Her sister never sounded rude. Her sister never told them they didn't know how to make hair. So what exactly is this? What exactly is this? This shouldn't have even happened in the first place, if you ask me. At the end of the day, this is customer service. If you ask me, I feel like what the salon should have done was, since they had already decided to do a collaboration with her, they should have just gone through with it. You know, oh, this style is not possible. This is the other style that can be possible, and then get on doing it. I don't know. I just feel like there was something wrong with them just letting her be by herself, wondering what was wrong or what wasn't wrong. Like, she genuinely did not know what she did that was wrong. You guys can hear from all the explanations she's giving. And even if I were to send somebody back or out of my establishment, I would be the one to come and tell you why I'm sending you away, why I'm no longer interested in doing whatever it is we planned on doing. You know, they just allowed her by herself there. I can imagine how weird, you know, the whole situation was for her. But yes, while going through this, I saw another influencer that had similar issues. And yes, let's get right into that. Even though in this one, the salon owner actually apologized, but we will get to that, okay?
Hey girls. Today I want to talk about a personal experience that I had at a braiding salon right here in Houston, Texas. Unfortunately, it wasn't the best experience. And disclaimer, they originally reached out to me for a collaboration. I did agree, and the terms were for exchange of service, I would give them content. I was more than happy when they reached out to me. As for myself, I'm a wig influencer, so I could not get braids. However, I asked for a style for my daughter, which was a very simple style. They told me they could do it, and I agreed to the terms. Here's the style that I requested. This is actually my daughter's hair, and I did get it done by a Houston braider. I will tag the braider that did my daughter's hair because she is absolutely phenomenal. But back to my experience. I requested this style for my daughter. She's had it before. It does not take too long to do. I felt like it was a fairly easy style. My first red flag when it came to this business was they only had 2.4 stars on Yelp. Now that was a little scary, and y'all know how the braiders and braiding shops be. However, again, they reached out for a collaboration, and if I can help aid into using my platform to get somebody some business, I definitely want to. On my way to the collaboration, I called the company 3 different times, and there was no answer all 3 different times. And that was another red flag. If I was a paying customer, it would really bother me if they did not answer their phone and they are running a business. But let's move past that, my experience. The first braider that was assigned to do my daughter's hair declined to do her hair. Honestly, I tried to look past that. She's 2 years old. I completely understand not everyone can do kids' hair. However, this is a collaboration. You should have had somebody already on deck ready to do her hair and have somebody who specialized in doing kids' hair. The braider that was then assigned to me was really nice. She was very sweet, and I really enjoyed her service as far as customer service. However, as far as her method, when she started the process, I knew it was going to take forever. Mind you, my daughter gets her hair done. This is not our first go around. Typically, I never do a style that's going to make her sit for more than 1 hour. At tops, 2 hours. She started individually parting my baby's head, started little braids, I guess to section the hair off. However, imagine doing that all over a toddler's head and then going back to braid. That's a lot of time. The first 2 times she braided my daughter's hair, I told her that it was way too bulky. I then re-showed her the original picture and explained to her that I did not want her hair bulky. I told her not to add too much hair. Throughout all of this, I am filming the content. By the time the 3rd attempt came, we had already been sitting in the chair for 1 hour. Mind you, one braid is not even done yet. I would like to add that I not only washed her hair, but I detangled and blowed it out. We already came prepped. It has been an hour and she has still not finished the first braid. My patience is running a little thin and my daughter is getting a little agitated. We completed almost 2 movies in this time frame. I already watched Frozen and we are halfway through Wreck-It Ralph. Her hair is still not done. Mind you, she has her colors, she's fake doing her makeup. So at this point in time, she's not agitated. And of course, she might be fidgeting just a little bit. However, she's not crying and she's not resisting. By the time we hit the 2-hour mark, my daughter starts throwing a tantrum. I'm going to be completely honest. At this point in time, again, I chose a simple style that was not going to take too long because I have a toddler. It's time for her to get up. It's time for her to play. She's ready to be out of the chair. I initially asked for a break for baby girl. The braider did agree. However, I can tell that she was a little bit frustrated. She then commented to me and said that it's because she was moving. In defense, I did comment back and I let her know, oh no, it never takes this long. Your method is taking too long. By the time she made that comment, I was already packing up to leave. I did go to the receptionist and I communicated that we would no longer be doing this collaboration. When I spoke to the receptionist and I communicated that we were not going to continue this collaboration, her response was pretty much like an oh. There was no apology. They did not make the space to come with a resolution. Not offering a faster braider, not offering for maybe 2 people to help at once. Today's goal was to really uplift a business, and I will not be uplifting this business. As a content creator, I'm gonna give y'all the real. That is what my platform is for. Go spend your money somewhere else.
Now, we've seen 2 influencers saying go spend your money somewhere else concerning this establishment. Troubles me because this is a huge salon that is aimed at making a lot of people's hair. Over 400 people in a building. It's there to make you look good. Now, guys, this is the second person complaining about customer service as regards this issue. Now, let's go ahead and see what the owner said. Now, it was in the comment section of this video. Let's read it. So she said, "Hi Akura, I apologize for the bad experience at my salon. I have talked to the staff and apologized on behalf of my team. Please give us a chance and I will personally assign another braider. Again, I apologize for the bad experience." At least in this one, the lady is seeing an apology, right? So this content creator goes ahead and says, "Hi, thank you so much for offering to make things right. Being that this was a collaboration, I would have expected this to be right the first time around. I took time off work, drove 35 minutes to your location, and the service was not as it should have been the first go around. My goal is to never intentionally put down a business. I hope you and your staff make some adjustments for future customers." Now, this particular video was in February and recently another one is coming up. Now, I don't understand that she's reaching out to content creators, influencers to help boost her business, make them known by the public. But it's also important that your communication, your customer service is also on point, because you never can tell who would have a bad experience or who would have a good experience, even though the motive is for everybody to have good experiences, but sometimes things happen, misunderstanding comes in, and that's why as a business owner it's good you know how to communicate with other people. Communication can make or break a business. I'm telling you this for free. Miscommunication is not good, but when you see there's a miscommunication, it's good you rectify that immediately. I've seen so many things that miscommunication has spoiled. So as a business owner, it's always good to know how to come to agreement with a client that isn't satisfied with what your establishment is providing. Now, guys, I do not know about you all, but I feel like the first lady's incidents would have been avoided. It wouldn't have been this bad if only a resolution was made. Like both of them came to a resolution of probably looking for another time to do the collaboration or even choosing a different hairstyle. And then the response video the owner made, I don't know, guys. Client is saying this, the owner is saying that. The client said that's not what the sister said. The sister never shouted at them, never spoke to them rudely, never told them they couldn't do hair. Which is it, guys? Honestly, which is it going to be? But yes, beautiful people, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. And yes, guys, I've come to the end of the video. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you did, do not forget to give the video a fat thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.